Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video, doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So, as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with the Japanese and CFS B2 models, and I should get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video says our 6 AM UK weather forecast. It's a 10 to 14 day on the way later on today as well. Please like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, going to start off with week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly from a JMA for the Arctic and North Pole view down. This is the North Pole just here, got wider Arctic Circle around there, and then the mid-latitudes are through there. So blue, so extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red to above average heights, which is high pressure. And these are broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 21st today of March to the 28th. So the next week we'll see a ridge in the Atlantic extending northwards with a trough through the west of Europe and a bit of blocking up here as well. So a little bit more unsettled perhaps in the weekend, especially so further south with a little bit of rain to come. Week 2 will be the 28th of March to the 4th of April. Again, we see a ridge in the Atlantic, but this time it's extending back to Greenland and even into the pole. A bit of northern blocking there with low pressure, again, particularly through the west and southwest of Europe, and that could be bringing in a cooler northeasterly type flow into the west of Europe. And no real changes weeks 3 and 4 either. This is the 4th to the 18th of April. Again, with a mid-Atlantic ridge. So sorry everyone, it extends up to Greenland and into the pole with a trough of low through West Europe, and again we bring the wind in from a northeasterly direction there, an easterly to northeasterly direction there. Most unsettled of course with a trough down in the south. Right, let's confirm that with a tropical and mid-latitude view. So we can't see Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia, all those areas off the chart up here. We've had a look at that view down though, so we know roughly what's going on. Reminder of the week 1 500. We're on top right hand corner of the chart as you look at it, by the way. Reminder of the week 1 500 millibar height only with that mid-Atlantic ridge going north and the trough through West Europe. And that again could be bringing the wind from an easterly type direction in weekend. Actually, a mild average week to come with above average temperatures by about 1 to 2 degrees. Maybe a little bit more even, so pleasantly warm actually, but it is wetter. It's a wetter average week to start us off. Week 2 is the 28th of March to the 4th of April. Again, we have some sort of a ridge in the Atlantic with a trough to the south, winds coming in from an easter or northeasterly direction. The temperature anomaly in the weekend is about average. That's come down a little bit in week 2, I should say, come down to about average. It's not as warm as it is in week 1. And the precipitation anomaly it's actually a bit drier than average for most areas, but slightly on the west side in the east. So we start off warm and wet, we go a bit cooler and drier for week 2. And then weeks 3 and 4, once again, with that mid-Atlantic ridge, the trough is to the south, the winds are coming in from the east, possibly even from the northeast. The temperature anomaly, again, it's close to average, not a particularly big deviation. And it's a wetter couple of weeks for the south and drier up in the north. Let's go through to CFS, see how that compares. Again, these are 500 millibar height anomalies, and they're broken down into a weekly period. The first week period will be taking us from the 21st to the 27th of March next week with a ridge in the Atlantic and dry east as well, trough down to south and winds coming up from a southerly southeasterly direction. Week 2 looks much more unsettled. 28th of March to the 3rd of April, low pressure then is in off the Atlantic, high pressure slipping southwards and winds going in to west-northwesterly direction. That looks very different to what the JMA is showing in week 2. There's the JMA for week 2. blocked in the Atlantic. There's the oh, where we go there. There's a CFS for week 2. They look very, very different, I have to say, as early as the second week. So lots of uncertainty with JMA Friday again this week. Week 3 will be before to the 10th of April. Low pressure well and truly in control. Winds coming in from off the Atlantic like that. And then finally, week 4 will be the 11th to the 17th of April. High pressure in the Atlantic and go northwards. Probably some sort of trough still through there. Very, very, very different charts of the CFS compared to the JMA today. Temperature anomalies for week 1, 21st to 27th of March, are above average. Week 2, temperature anomalies from the 28th of March to the 3rd of April, also slightly above average. Not as warm as week 1 though. Week 3 is near normal with the temperature anomaly, and then finally week 4 is also close to average. So there's a bit of a cooling trend going on here, but no sign of anything overly cold. And then precipitation wise, week 1, 23rd, 27th of March, is a bit west average in the north, near normal elsewhere. Week 2 is the 28th of March to the 3rd of April. That one coming out wetter than average in all areas. Week 3 is the 4th to the 10th of April, also coming out wetter than average in the north anyway. And by week 4 we've lost the signal, but I would suspect it is probably still largely on the unsettled side. So we've got the JMA suggesting high pressure in the Atlantic, northern blocking, and, you know, cool, not especially cold, and relatively dry-ish conditions. And then we've got the CFS. They both start off warm, by the way, for week 1, but putting that aside, we've got a CFS bed looking much more Atlantic-driven, low pressure in the Atlantic, westerlies, unsettled, wet and windy weather into April. So we've got April uncertainty with JMA Friday today, and this is indicative of the uncertainty that we've been seeing within the shorter range model output as well. So, the page your money, you take your choice. That's how it's looking this week. We always tell it like it is at GavsWeatherVids, and we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get into April, isn't it? Well, we're going to be back a little bit later on. Well, very shortly, actually. You're 10 to 14 days, so come back for that in a bit. But JMA Friday for this week. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Remember, just a snapshot, by the way, of what the models of JMA could look very different when we look at them again with JMA Friday next week. And you'll find out tomorrow what the ECM WF42 day forecast have got to say about all of this when we do the EC42 day for UK and Ireland. Right, that's it. So we're back in a bit with your 10 to 14 day for JMA Friday this week. That's all for now. And thanks for watching.